What are you seeing? What are you feeling about what is emerging? And try to, you can make it your hopes, but more, what are you observing? What are you seeing that's coming, that's emergent, that might, in fact, really, I mean, it's part of what you were saying earlier. It is certainly, we are emerging back into the cosmos, where we can have relationship with the cosmos and not be thought to be pagan nutties, you know, who are worshipping stones and rocks and gases. But that because we are star stuff and resonance stuff ourselves, we are returning to some relationship. Can you speak into these? Yes.
My own work among indigenous people has indicated to me that there's definitely a shift in after many centuries of suppressing indigenous people. That suppression is lifting, and they're becoming empowered again, and their message is coming out, and even the Mayan prophecies. That information is now available, and that's as a result of something that's lifting and something that's emerging. And these people are returning back to their roots, even though they had been forced to assimilate for centuries. They're now reconnecting again. And along with that comes the power of the wisdom and the knowledge that came from that, from their ancestors. And that's affecting the rest of the world.
Yes, hugely important. And the marriage, I would say. So that for whatever reasons in evolution, the dislocation from nature and the journey that was taken into modernity, evolution is not a throwaway enterprise. So, for example, in work I did in Nepal, we brought together traditional healers and modern cataract surgeons. And the modern cataract surgeons said to the traditional healers, you don't have to use the thorn to try to get the cataract out. It's not a good idea. But you have really, for the soul and for the emotional body, you have great medicine. These cataract surgeons can use modern surgery, slit open in 3 minutes, take out the old cataract and restore sight to somebody who's been blind for 50 years. I mean, when you bring those together, you've got something extraordinary in terms of evolutionary movement. Yes?
When you're talking about synergy, that
Synergy.
the old is meeting the new, and you know, when people have been comparing these times to the Great Depression, I went, no, there's no way, because it's all that we know, all the enlightenment, you know, and the fact that, you know, you can go and buy the great religious texts of Barnes and Noble, which 30 years ago they were still wrong. So there's this, you know, I mean, it's just this roiling stew of things coming together.
Great social synergy, yes. Yes. Somebody who hasn't spoken. Yes.
Change is coming.
Change is
And as we grow more, we can do more. And with that positive note, there's like 40 of us doing healing in a Catholic hospital. Now, where and how many places allow that? But at Stockton, we have that going on. So it is working. And if we do our laying of the hands on a cancer patient prior to their chemo, we're finding out they're not losing their hair. And the doctors are going, what's going on here? So we've got that old with the new, like you were saying.
Yes. And the holistic health and healing movement is really one of the
Waking
signs.
up.
Because, you know, healing, the root of the word heal comes from to make whole, to to resonate again with the whole, not just with the part that needs to be fixed or cured, but with the whole system. And so now we're looking at what is that healing. The people in this room, I mean, if you've been asleep, you should look around at who's in this room and just take a look. Just look at this room. The people in this room will be doing and are doing the healing work for our planet that says, wow, I'm one of those people who sees the whole. Right? How many of you in this room? I can see it. Yes. Yes. And so we are the whole earth healers. And that work is increasingly called upon. And I think it's the esoteric call of this conference, is to say to you, this is your time. This is your time as healers, in the multiple and diverse ways that you do, to bring the synergy, to bring the synthesis, not to bring it's the old world and now we're with the new world. It's to bring the worlds together. And when you bring them together, as we've found in the current shifts in the United States, when you bring them together, wow, something starts to happen to your body, to your physical sense starts to wake up, doesn't it? When you feel like all of these people of different colors and religions and backgrounds are going to reshape the destiny of this nation. That's a visceral, it's a body kinetic experience. And it's that kinetic bodily experience of the human rights workers, of the healers, of the ones who are moving out of the money economy, who are saying this is a time for alternative economies that respect, what you have to give to me and I have to give to you, and that we don't need as much of that illusion to make it work as we really thought. Yes, you have to hold that.
Oh, just saying, you were asking about direct markers or indications or thoughts or feelings of this change as precipice movement, and clearly, as we went into the industrial age and it became so dexterous at manipulating sciences, we invested so much attention in that, causing the falling away from our archaic mind, native mind, indigenous mind, of more holistic and integrated. And so what we're seeing now in this time is a shake-up and a confirmation of the crossroads of science and spirituality. And some of us are we're all going to the same party, clearly. Some of us are happily singing and dancing, others are kicking and screaming, resisting that confirmation, hanging on to what they know as to be material, provable, verifiable reality, as it will. But as science is catching up, we're starting to see with quantum physics, obviously, that there is an intersection and an interactive reality. So we're deeply being stirred to question and see that and accept it. And sometimes, in some cases, it's a little tougher. Sometimes we have to be confronted by something really life-threatening before we go deep enough into our own fear to accept it. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we have to feel it collectively, as we did with 9/11, to shape that foundation of what we believe is solid ground. What is material existence? What is reality?
Yes, now she's speaking. You called her. You evoked her.
I did want to share an AA meeting this morning. Yes, on all sides. I'm not as articulate as many of you, and I choose not to intellectualize it because that's my downfall. But I think this is a wonderful place to be, and I think it's very fun, and I think that, sorry, you guys need to tone it down a little bit. Thank you. It's not what it was, aren't you? They're gone past that part.
I feel you, sister.
The way that I am approaching it is just to do what I'm doing, but to change what I'm doing. I heard Daniel Pinchbeck say something in the spring, and I don't even know the name. I'm not as well versed as many of you are in this whole movement, and I don't want to be part of a movement, to tell you the truth. I just want to live, because I chose to come here and I chose to play this game with you, and but he says, and there was this whole person, and I know you know who he is, I don't know his name, but he's describing this horrible conspiracy theory and all this stuff, and I love what Daniel said, not in my movie. I like that, and not in my movie. My place is to be here. I can't run away. I can't go someplace and isolate from you, as hard as it is to be here. We have to do each day, and we have to live in this moment, and we have to be with each other. And this is the game that we're playing. And I think sometimes we get so, oh my God, this. I don't care who wins the election, because none of that's going to matter. None of it's going to matter. And it's not going to be bad. It's all good stuff. It's really wonderful stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks for making me share those things.
Well, I'm kind of like she is, but the thing that's so awesome to me right now is the new generation, the children, the teenagers that are so passionate about helping each other and helping their communities, and it's just so wonderful. It's just a rebirth of what everybody wants. It's just so, well, obviously emotional.
I'm there with you. I do work with youth, and if you're any kind of a pattern reader, you read the energies or just the patterns in people. If you're depressed, look to the rising generation. If you think, and you're not clear about the science on this, you can read Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman. You want to destroy a kid in a classroom, just ignore them. Like, oh, well, she's the right person. You're the best. And that lack of being seen is death. So we know that consciousness actually gives us birth. And, when you see the other person and you call them forth, you're actually in the state of Brahma, the creator, the co-creator, because you're calling into being. You're seeing this person. You're beholding them. And by doing so, you're really calling them. And so, calling this generation and the teenagers, calling them with what, they are carrying is very key work for our time. What I want to do, are you about to speak?
I could speak.
You're making a very, wide...
I was going to attest to the fact that, I'm actually from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and our community there, we've just been kind of touring around a little bit in the California area. And our community in Canada is growing so rapidly, and it's a very, very youthful community. And it's all spirit and heart-based, and the people that are getting attracted to this, I wouldn't say movement, but I would say more just a gathering and understanding of oneness, and starting from people that are so young that it's unbelievable to understand that there's so much wisdom in these children. So I can attest to what that movement is happening, and it's happening on a large scale.
Yeah.
I would like to say that back in 1983 in January, I was exposed to HIV, and I have gone through many years of white me type feeling sorry and so forth, and wishing that I were not here. And years ago, when I finally one time I tuned into Dr. Chopra, who got me in touch with Noetic sciences, and eventually from there with Ramza and this Ramza School of Enlightenment. I have seen such complete change, and I'm not even worried at all about my HIV, because I know that's I have been telling people, mark my words, it would be over soon, because I have no doubt at all. But I'm not so worried about the HIV anymore. but it's about becoming part of this new awareness that is making so much sense to me. Why did I get it? I feel so blessed to be in your presence and to have been in the presence of Grandpa and other great minds. That now the whole thing is making a lot of meaning. And I just want to be able to learn more. It seems like time at my age, why didn't I start much younger?
Beautiful.